Welcome back and good morning. And right now taking a live look from Ray, Colorado. Cool looking sunrise this morning. A little bit of a glow right there on the eastern horizon, but we are in store for some changes happening tonight. A cold front coming through, which means a lot of colder weather. Time right now is 6:40. Let's get a check on that weather. Here's Marty with your Storm Checker 13 forecast. Good morning, Marty.
Good morning, Kershon, and good morning, everybody. The other thing that's going to happen is it's going to get awfully windy in some areas today. And we're already seeing signs of it on the higher terrain. Obviously, this camera is not holding steady looking across the Sangre de Cristo Mountains this morning. That's our Viera Wireless Neighborhood Weather Network camera. It's a pretty view, but it's a good indication of what most of you should expect a little later on today. And it's because of an approaching cold front that's actually going to bring a little bit of rain and snow into northern Colorado. We're not going to get a lot of precipitation up there, but something's better than nothing at this point, which is probably what's going to be the case in southeastern Colorado today. Notice through 4 o'clock, FUTURECAST does show some clouds and even tries to put a few little green blips out there on the eastern plains, but the air underneath is so dry that I have a hard time believing anything's going to hit the ground in any great capacity. What I do know is going to happen is that wind is going to pick up. And notice that FUTURECAST is showing sustained wind speeds in pockets along and west of the interstate of 30 miles an hour. These aren't gusts, these are sustained wind speeds. And as we move into the afternoon, the wind will start to pick up over parts of eastern Colorado to our north and east as well. And that's an indication of where that colder air is coming from. But the bottom line is everybody's going to get some wind, and I think we'll have some gusts that at times will be over 40 miles an hour this afternoon. We'll remain ahead of the front for most of the day today, so still very warm with upper 70s to upper 80s in eastern Colorado. We will start to see some colder air coming in across the higher terrain with 40s and 50s. Leadville probably only around 50 today. I think we'll be in the 60s around Teller County. I did hear from Larry this morning. He says there's still some good color, but the wind yesterday took a lot of the leaves out of the trees, and I think his quote was that it was raining leaves yesterday, and I'm sure more of that will happen today. So we'll probably be just about done with that around Teller County after this weekend. 70s to around 80 in Colorado Springs, where we have in town some pretty nice color going on right now. Low to mid 80s along the Arkansas River with 60s and 70s on the higher terrain to the south and west of Pueblo. So the cooler air will surge in from north to south tonight, but with very little fanfare, at least as far as precipitation is concerned. It's more of a dry front for us, but the air is definitely going to cool off. And where we have some areas in the 60s this morning, that will not be the case tomorrow morning. We'll end up in the 30s in much of eastern Colorado, and we'll likely have quite a few areas up across the mountains and mountain valleys in the 20s. Got a nice shot from up on top of Cheyenne Mountain at this point. You see that kind of circular glow there? It gives you a good idea of where the sun's going to come up. Just find the middle of that, and that's where it'll be. Nice morning. Cooler week ahead. We'll still have some periods of wind, but a little chance for precipitation. More on that in our extended forecast soon. Kershon, back to you.
Alrighty.